Hear how God has done some amazing things. So let's pray together for a moment. Father, thank you that in the midst of laughter and everything else, we can do your business. Father, thank you for the blessings that you give to us, and Father, may we never take them lightly and take them for granted. Truly, you're our Lord. Father, move tonight in our hearts, draw us closer to you, and may we just celebrate what you have done and what you will continue to do. We pray all of this in Jesus' name. Amen.
So the first song we're going to sing is Graves in the Garden. So please stand up. And I also wanted to introduce Tucker and Anna. They are new to our praise band, and this is their first time, well, their second time singing, but like in front of the church. So just, yeah, give them, yeah, woo! All right. The world, but it couldn't fill me. Man's empty praise and treasures that fade are never enough. And you came along and put me back together. And every desire is now satisfied here in your love. Oh, there's nothing better than you. There's nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing is better than you. And I'm not afraid to show you my weakness, my failures and flaws. Lord, you've seen them all, and you still call me friend. 'Cause the God of the mountain is the God of the valley. There's not a place your mercy and grace won't find me again. Oh, there's nothing better than you. There's nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing is better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing is better than you. You turn mourning to dancing. You give beauty for ashes. You turn shame into glory. You're the only one who can. You turn graves into gardens. You turn bones into armies. You turn seas into highways. You're the only one who can. You're the only one who can. Oh, there's nothing better than you. There's nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing is better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. There's nothing better there's nothing, nothing is better than you. You turn graves into gardens, you turn bones into armies, you turn seas into highways. You're the only one who can. You turn graves into gardens, you turn bones into armies, you turn seas into highways. You're the only one who can. You're the only one who can. You're the only one who can. Oh. Okay, so the next song we're going to sing is House of the Lord. We worship the God who was. We worship the God who is. We worship the God who evermore will be. He opened the prison doors. He parted the raging sea. Our God, He holds the victory. There's joy in the house of the Lord. There's joy in the house of the Lord today. And we won't be quiet. We shout out your praise. There's joy in the house of the Lord. Our God is surely in this place, and we won't be quiet. We shout out your praise, oh, oh, oh. We shout out your praise, oh, oh, oh. We shout out your praise. We sing to the God who heals. We sing to the God who saves. We sing to the God who always makes a way. 'Cause He hung up on that cross and He rose up from that grave. My God, still rolling stones away. There's joy in the house of the Lord. There's joy in the house of the Lord today, and we won't be quiet. We shout out your praise. There's joy in the house of the Lord. Our God is surely in this place, and we won't be quiet. We shout out your praise. We were the beggars, now we're royalty. We were the prisoners, now we're running free. We are forgiven, accepted, redeemed by His grace. Let the house of the Lord sing praise. We were the beggars, now we're royalty. We were the prisoners, now we're running free. We are forgiven, accepted, redeemed by His grace. Let the house of the Lord sing praise. There's joy in the house of the Lord. There's joy in the house of the Lord today, and we won't be quiet. We shout out your praise. There's joy in the house of the Lord. Our God is surely in this place, and we won't be quiet. We shout out your praise, oh, oh, oh. We shout out your praise, oh, oh, oh. We shout out your praise. Okay, so the last song we're going to sing tonight is Who You Say I Am. Wait. Might that the highest king would welcome me. I was lost, but he brought me in. Oh, his love for me. Oh, his love for me. Who the Son sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God, yes I am. Free at last he has ransomed me, oh, his grace runs deep. While I was a slave to sin, Jesus died for me. Yes, he died for me. Who the Son sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God, yes I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child of God, yes I am. I am chosen, not forsaken. I am who you say I am. You are for me, not against me. I am who you say I am. I am chosen, not forsaken. I am who you say I am. You are for me, not against me. I am who you say I am. I am who you say I am. Who the Son sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God, yes I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child of God, yes I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child of God, yes I am.
All right. Mr. Barry, if you'll unmute that mic for me. All right, can y'all hear me now? All right. So as Tricia stated a minute ago, first of all, thank you to everyone who helped out with fundraisers and things like that. Everybody in this room I know contributed in some way, shape, form, or fashion, either financially or prayers, whatever it may have been. We do appreciate that because we would not have been able to go on this trip had it not been for you and your support leading up to this trip for the last year. And so we do hope to do this trip again. It won't be next summer, but maybe the following summer. So if what you hear tonight maybe is something you want to participate in the future, we would love to have you participate with us when we decide to do that again. So I'm just going to kind of start off with just a little bit of background and a little bit of context, just so that you understand kind of what we did while we were there. And so, Owen, if you'll go to that first slide. All right, so we were in the country of Guatemala, and if you'll see the little red dot down there at the bottom, that's where we were. We were in the southernmost part of the country of Guatemala in a town called Las Positas. I kept getting that messed up whenever we were down there. But it is near the town of Las Positas. And so, and if you go to that second one, just kind of zoom in just a little bit. And so we kind of zoom in on the map some, and you see the little red dot there again. And the three orange triangles are three active volcanoes. Guatemala has six active volcanoes in the country. And those three right there were the three that were closest to us. And if you'll see that one orange triangle is really, really close to where we were. And so, Owen, if you're going to that next one. So that is I don't know if you can tell on that picture, but the black thing right there in the middle is an active volcano. And we were right there just south of that volcano, and it was real neat to be able to see that volcano as it, not erupted, but as it was kind of spitting up steam, smoke kind of every morning. All right, Owen, if you'll go to that next one. So this kind of zooms in just a little bit closer. You'll see the city part or the town part of Los Positos. And if you'll see the little red dot there again to the left of the picture, Clubhouse Guatemala is actually where we were, who we were serving with. And so you notice they are outside of town just a little bit. That yellow brick road, so to speak, is kind of the people group that we ministered to the majority of the time that we were there. So you notice they are outside of town. That automatically tells you that they are much lower income. And so you could definitely tell the different people that we interacted with throughout the week. Monday and Wednesday, we interacted with children during the afternoon time with people that lived on that yellow road. Tuesday and Thursday, we interacted with children who were from town. And you could tell a major difference just in that little bit of the people that we interacted with. The children that would come the 2 different days, you could definitely tell the difference in how they dressed, how they acted, things like that. So the yellow road there, it may look flat on this map, but there was a point where that road went straight up. And I wish I had thought to get the picture of that, but it was an uphill climb to get up that hill and minister to those people. And again, that road may not look very long, and it may not look like there's a whole lot there, but there was probably 300 people that lived up that road. Very tight community, very small housing. I think one of the very first houses we went into, it was a family of 16 or 18 living just within a house or two that was no bigger than this room and maybe that room. And so just really, really small conditions. All right, Owen, if you'll go to the next one. All right, so this is kind of what we had to look at each day that we were there. When we got there Sunday afternoon, the picture on the bottom left is kind of what we saw. We thought, well, there's not really a whole lot here, but what we did not realize was that was clouds and fog and things like that. So when we woke up Sunday morning and we saw the picture on the top left and this big volcano thing, and they're like, how did we miss that yesterday when we got here? I mean, it was just this drastic difference between Sunday afternoon when we got there, a Saturday afternoon when we got there, and Sunday morning when we woke up. And it was pretty much that way each day that we were there. So the mornings we would wake up and you'd be able to see the volcanoes around you. By afternoon and evening, the clouds and fog and stuff had rolled in where you really couldn't see anything around you. It was kind of neat seeing that. The weather, we were really worried about the weather. We're thinking, man, it's hot here. We're going close to the equator. It's going to be really hot down there. The high around there was about 80, low humidity, very nice weather the whole time we were there. I don't know if you saw our post. We posted, please pray for rain. That the rain would hold off because it was scheduled to rain every day that we were there. And so it rained Sunday afternoon, I believe, and it did not rain the rest of the time. And so God provided us with good weather for that week, for that time while we were there. All right, if you'll go to the next one, Owen. All right, so you see very mountainous territory. These are actually the same pictures. One of them, the one on the right, is kind of zoomed in a little bit. I wanted to kind of make note of this. If you'll notice the left, it looks like it's just green, trees, brush, whatever. But if you notice, if you can see on the right, you can see kind of the lighter green areas are kind of strategically placed. That is corn. That is their cornfields. And so everywhere you looked was cornfields and pineapple fields on the side of these on the side of these mountains. And so most of the people that we ministered to each and every day, they would go out and they would work in these farms. And we're blessed with nice flat soil, nice flat farming area that you can run a tractor up and down it all day long without batting an eye. Well, as you can tell, there is no tractors. There is no mechanical equipment that's going to harvest that corn for them or plant that corn for them. So they were out, we could see people in different areas working on these hillsides. So just kind of give you an idea of the area and the type of conditions that they live in. The next picture is a picture of a pineapple farm. You see right here close to the camera. I mean, it's pineapples all the way down, and then the very end of the picture is kind of the base of one of those lava, what do they call them? Lava fields. And so that's where some of the lava years ago had come down and settled. All right, so the clubhouse team that we worked with, Clubhouse was founded by a family named Mike and Cindy Parker, and they are from Knoxville, Tennessee. And so they started this ministry in 2008 after they went down there and did some work through another ministry. And so they just had a heart for the people of Guatemala, and they went back down there and started Clubhouse Guatemala to minister to people of the Pacaya area. And I think they have 3 different ministries within Guatemala that they run, 3 different locations. Mike and Cindy were not able to be there with us the week that we were there, but this is their team. I'm not going to name them out for you, but they have 4 college interns that come for the summer, and they were basically the ones running the show while we were there. And they did an amazing job. Most of them had been like our students. They had come one summer for a week with their church or something like that, and they loved it so much that they decided to come back as an intern in college. And so I think one of them, the guy in the middle, the taller guy in the middle, he's been going to Clubhouse Guatemala since he was 9, I believe, 8 or 9, something like that. And so he knows about the people. He's got a close interaction with a lot of the people that we interacted with, and it was interesting to see him interact with them and see them maybe for the first time for the summer or something like that. We had 2 translators that would help us as we went into homes, as we interacted with children, and would convey what we were trying to say, because obviously not many of us knew very much Spanish, so they were very helpful to us. And Julia on the far end, the last day that we were there, we were at McDonald's trying to order breakfast before we left, and I said, Julia, you deserve a star in heaven, a gold crown in heaven for putting up with us this week, because we put her through it, her and the other guy, trying to get them to understand our southern accents and things like that. But they were a good team, and we appreciate the work that they do. All right, Owen, go to that next one. Yeah, if you'll go back real quick. The one in the light green shirt on the far left and the one in the kind of royal blue shirt in the middle have been adopted by Mike and Cindy years ago, and so they are their adopted sons, and they serve in the community. Pablo there in the middle, Julian on the end and Pablo in the middle. You could walk through town with Pablo, and if they were standing out in the yard, hey, Pablo! He was like a celebrity around town. It was amazing. All right, so if you go to the next one. So Clubhouse Guatemala owns the property that you see right there on the screen, and this is where they do their VBS activities in the afternoon and things like that. But they are also, this was Sunday morning, And the cool thing about us being able to be there Sunday morning, we were not planning on being there Sunday. We were planning on Sunday being kind of our free day and going in Sunday night and starting Monday and then leaving out the following Saturday. But the way free time kind of worked, we changed things up. So we were actually able to be there with them Sunday morning and worship with them. And come to find out, the church had not met in that fashion in about 2 years. The pastor had left, and the church had kind of dissolved a little bit, and so there was no real church meeting during worship on Sunday mornings. But if you'll go to the next picture, Owen, the youth, this is their youth group, they felt a call from God to start the church back up. And the youth would meet on Saturday afternoons, but they wanted to meet church on Sunday mornings. And so they took it upon themselves to kind of get things going again. And Owen, if you'll go to the next picture, you'll see the little short guy in between me and Tanner there. He is 17 years old. His name is Alfredo, and he is the new pastor for that church. He has been called by his friends, by his peers, to be the pastor of the church. And so we had an opportunity this was their first meeting, second. This was the second Sunday that they met, the Sunday we were there, but the first Sunday he actually preached. And so obviously we could not understand what he was saying, what he was preaching, but you could tell when he got to his testimony, when he started sharing about what God had done in his life,
there were lots of tears.
So we want to continue to pray for Alfredo as he ministers to the church, as they continue to grow, and as they minister to the people of that community. Now, I was kind of not misinformed, but just kind of misunderstood. I was thinking that this was one of the few churches in the area, but there were several different churches, mainly Catholic churches in the area, maybe in town. I think there were 2 churches on that main road that I talked about earlier. So this was not the only church, but this was a church that these youth felt like they needed to start back up. All right, Owen. All right, so if you can tell those pictures, the 2 middle pictures, top and bottom, are us making the food bags that we gave out each and every morning. We would go to different families. Some of those youth would make contact with people up and down that road and just say, hey, who needs some food? Who needs help? Who needs assistance? And so they would come back to us and they would have a list of where we would go each and every morning and deliver these food bags. And it contained rice and beans, spaghetti noodles, cooking oil, some protein powder, cornmeal. I don't know, it was a heavy bag. Once you toted it around for 30, 45 minutes, it got to be a pretty heavy bag. And so we did that each and every morning, going into homes and just sharing the love of Jesus with them, sharing the opportunity to minister to them, ask how we could pray for them, finding out about their lives. And so we're going to share a little bit in just a few minutes about some of those families that touched us as we ministered to them. All right? And so in the afternoons, we would spend time in VBS. And so these are some pictures of us interacting with the kids and doing the VBS. One of the main things that, not a struggle, but one of the things that we were not prepared for when we got down there, we did not know we had to put on a VBS program. We thought we were assisting with a VBS program. So we went with no materials, with no crafts, with no activities planned. But luckily, like I said, that staff that I talked about earlier, they were very accommodating and helped us out in preparing for each day. So they did a good job. And I'm not going to say it was one of their best weeks as far as ministry, but we made it work. And so that's kind of an overview of what we did and how we did things. I just want to kind of give you that context because I want to kind of show you a video that kind of gives some more pictures and just now you know what's going on. And so as you watch this video, you can kind of have a better idea of what we were doing.
Pensé que caería, mas nunca me has fallado, Dios. Las vegas de cristal, sé que los dados won, for you have never failed. promise still stands. Great is your faithfulness, faithfulness. I'm still in your hands. This is my confidence. You never fail. Your promise still stands. Great is your faithfulness, faithfulness. Still in your hands. This is my confidence. You never fail me yet. And you've never failed me yet. And I never will forget. You've never failed me yet. And I never will forget.
So I'm going to share just a couple of things that kind of impacted me, and then I'm going to turn it over to the rest of them. If you'll look at your phones, if you haven't seen your phones, I sent you a list kind of who goes when, just so we're not wasting a lot of time. But so this lady, if you'll notice her in the gray shirt in the middle. Our team went to her house, kind of happenstance one day. We were across the road, dropping off the last bag of food for that day. And so we just, I think we were planning on going to her later in the week. But again, this family was really in touch with different people in the community, and they knew that some things that she was going through and her family were going through. So they wanted us to stop by and talk with her, kind of spur of the moment. And so God has a way of working things out all the time. And so she was just talking, sharing about her life. We were asking the same questions. What does your husband do? You know, what do you enjoy cooking? Different things like that. Just trying to make some type of personal connection with each family that we went to. And as we were talking, she just asked the question, what do you believe about children who die, whether they go to heaven or not, if they haven't been baptized? And so the initial red flag in my mind is, this is from a Catholic background. This is from a Catholic teaching. I think we had talked with her about Bible study. She'd been reading the Bible or anything like that, and this is where this came from. She talked about being a part of a Bible study on Fridays, and they were talking about suffering. And so that led into this question about, children going to heaven if they haven't been baptized. And so I was able to use my experience with our daughter passing away and connect with her in a way that I didn't know I was going to be able to do. And so she and I carried on a really good conversation about, the innocence of a child and how God wouldn't punish an innocent of a child by keeping them from heaven, and we had a really good connection, had a really good conversation with her. And so we left there, and our group was, I think did y'all's group go back and see her too? But y'all saw
We saw the other sister and then we saw her.
right. And so we interacted with this family 3 different times. And so when my group went back to see her on Thursday, you could just tell a new peace within her. The worry that she had the first day that we interacted with her was gone. And so just knowing that we can have that connection was a special thing for me. And I think Mackenzie's going to talk about her again in that second interaction we had with her. And so the other interaction that I want to share with you is this next picture. This young lady right here in the middle, her name is Estrella. Estrella, and it means star. And so we went to her house to deliver a food bag, and she was there with her younger sister, and I believe her older sister was also in the house. I think her mom and dad were out working, if I'm not mistaken, but she was there and she interacted with us. And so we had the opportunity to share the gospel with her. And we were able to walk her through the plan of salvation, and we were actually able to lead her in a prayer of salvation. And so, like I said, she's 16. She's going to be able to get plugged into that youth group that is now starting that church. And so we're just praying for her that God will continue to work in her life. And so that's an amazing thing. You know, we didn't know if we were going to be able to actually witness to somebody and see a moment of salvation. So for us to be able to do that was a pretty cool experience. I'm going to, Owen, if you'll go on. Aubrey Claire was not able to be here tonight, but she did submit a video that she wanted to show.
I couldn't be there tonight, but I wanted to share about my experience in Guatemala. I had an amazing time there, getting to see their culture and experience their lives firsthand. Getting to see how different their world is than ours really changed me. They didn't have most of the things that we have, like electricity and air conditioning, and they were so thankful for what they did have and for the food that we brought them. I love this trip and cannot wait to go back. Thanks.
All right. And so I'm going to turn it over to Mackenzie. She's going to share a couple of things that she got out of the trip, and then we're going to go through the rest of the group. Some of them, they're not going to talk as much as me. They're probably just going to say one little thing, and that'll be okay. So.
Okay, everyone. So I just wanted to talk about when we first got there. I was like so excited to be there and to just experience the whole thing. I was just so excited. But when we got there, I was like, oh my goodness, what did I just get myself into? Because it's such a different place than where we are. And so you were kind of like, you felt a little out of place. And so I was like, oh my goodness, what am I doing? But then as the days went on, it was easier. You felt God's presence there, and you knew that he was there and he was working. So it made you feel a sense of peace because you're in a whole different country. You don't know anybody there except the group you're with. And so you had to learn how to talk to people and to build those connections. And one of the connections was this picture right here. This is Virginia as well. And this was the last time I got to talk to her, and it was the most impactful time because she really opened up to us about losing her dad, and that really connected with me because I've also lost my dad. And so we were talking, and I got to see how Jesus had changed her life from the first time when Brother Allen was talking to her about when she asked that first question about the children's innocence. And I saw that she was unsure of everything that she had been taught. She wasn't sure of what path she should go on, and I feel like we were brought there because we weren't supposed to go there. Like he said, we weren't supposed to be there, but we were, and it just changed. I just saw how from the first time we met her, because I got to visit her every single day, so I was seeing every single day progress, and this is the last time, and I told her, I said, you just seem so at peace, and I'm just so thankful that God has given you that peace because it shows. And so the next picture I have is of the one in the middle with the glasses is Daniela, and the other one is Marcella. And these were the two interns. They're 13, and I put this picture in here because they were the ones that really like helped me to step out of my comfort zone. Because during VBS, you have like 40 kids that don't speak English. And so you're like, how am I going to, like, I'm pretty good with kids, but when I don't speak their language, I'm like, am I supposed to interact with them and connect? And they really helped me to understand what they were saying and just helped me. And I got to talk to them and get to know them, and they eventually became some of like my close friends there, besides the people that I came with. And they only stayed there for, was it 3 days? But they were impactful because they really helped me, and I got to know them and build connections. And this is another example of how we got to talk to people, and we got to see how our lives are different and the same. Because I mean, I would talk to them like Daniela. She loves books. I love books. So we see that they can be different, but we're also the same. Like all around the world, we're the same. We're not all different, you know what I'm saying? And so the last picture I have, these are two girls that I got to talk to at VBS. I remember that girl's name. Her name is Amy, but I don't remember the other girl's name. But they were just like balls of joy. Like you can tell from this picture how like they were laughing and we were just having a good time. And even though I didn't understand everything that they said to me, like it was just a beautiful moment to see like the connections we made. And I think that's really all I have to say.
¿Cómo se llama? Do y'all know what that means? What is your name? Yes. Me llama Jode. For some reason, when I was talking, I felt like I had to have an accent when I was, Joe. When I said my name, it would be Jode. And, I don't know why, but it just happens, But the first day we get in, we fly in, and if you've ever been to a hockey game, you have the plexiglass, and you walk in the airport, and there's probably 100 to 200 people. They have flowers, they have balloons, signs. We couldn't understand what they said. They're cheering, and we're thinking, gosh, is this for us, Or then we thought, no, it's not for us. It's probably a movie star or a singer or something like that. And so we're walking through and we're trying to figure out what's going on. And we finally figure out they were waiting to see their family they haven't seen in years, and how excited they were to see them. And we're so grateful that we get to see our family, every day, or we have FaceTime that we can communicate and stuff. So that was my first thing that I noticed. Then we get on a bus. You saw me with the luggage all behind me and everything. And it did fall a couple times on me, I think. But before we get to the camp clubhouse, we go to the mall to get our lunch for the day. So we go in, it's me, Tanner, Mackenzie, and Anna, and we're like, we don't know how to tell them what we want, We're like, and it's like, it was very overwhelming. You're like, what have I done here? Because, it's just so many people, blah, 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 talking the language and stuff, and you don't understand and stuff. And so we're looking at, there's pictures, but, it doesn't do it justice sometimes. And so we decided to order something, and it was good. It was a little spicy, I think. But we were sitting there eating and everything, and then Tanner says, can we get out of here? Like, go to a store or something, because it was just so congested and everything. So we go over there, and we're looking at prices and stuff, trying to figure out everything. But it was just overwhelming in how I didn't understand anything, they didn't understand anything, and how probably people in our country feel that way. So it made me, I know I probably have said, well, they need to learn English, and stuff, but it made me realize I need to be more sympathetic for stuff like that, Then we get to the camp house and everything, and the first day church that we had, I was so glad that we were able to go, because it was such a feeling of the Spirit. That's how I didn't understand, but like you said, when he came to his testimony, you felt the emotion, you felt the Spirit there. And as we learn down the road, his little brother was almost died, and they call him Miracle. And I don't know what really happened. He just got sick and stuff, but he lived. So he's a miracle to them and stuff, and how, what a strain. His mother had 17 kids. And, you know, that was the first house that we went to. And, you know, it was so dirt floor. It was probably one of the poorest houses that we went to, you know, and there were 17 people. You know, they had a little house over here, so many slept in here. The kitchen, we brought them a filter. The kitchen was just, it makes you so blessed. It was very humbling through the whole experience and stuff. And Virginia, she is just a popular girl because, and I was with Alan most of the time, and we switched the kids and stuff, so he stole all my stories, but I stole his Bible verse every time. But she did. She made it was such a blessing. I knew Alan's story, and when she told us that her sister's 4-month-old son had passed away, I knew we were there for a reason. And I knew that through this, you know, talking to her and everything, she said she was in evangelistic church at first, but something happened and she ended up being at Catholic church for like 6 years. And when she started asking questions, and, you know, you could just see it in her mind. She was just really, you know, lingering to every word that Alan said and stuff. And I went back the last day with Mackenzie, and like you said, you could see the peace and stuff, and that from the first day to the last day we saw her. One of the things that really spoke out to me is that no matter what happens in life, that God's going to provide everything for you. Like you said, we didn't have vacation Bible stuff planned. We had a box, and I don't know if it was stuff left over that people just left or whatever, but we created a Bible. You know, he provided that so that we could put together something for the kids to do. And we couldn't go to Walmart and get anything. I mean, it was an hour and a half away, and if you saw those roads, I mean, walking up them was just enough trouble, but to drive, I don't think I'd want to drive them either, you know. But there was another family, and I'm going to cut it short, but there was a lady who was going through, she had a port, and I think she was going through dialysis. And she had an 18-year-old daughter, a 14-year-old daughter, and I think the youngest one was 8 or 10, something like that. She had the little parrot on her shoulder in the pictures. And she loved the Lord. You could tell that that's where she found, you know, once she got sick and everything, that's when she found Jesus and stuff. And she told, I asked the girls, I said, what do y'all like to do for fun? And the middle girl said, I like to ride a motorcycle. I was like, oh my goodness, your mama is gonna need to pray for you. But her mom, she said she had a letter, because she's only 14. She had a letter so that she can take her to her appointments. She rides on the back of that motorcycle to go to that appointment, because it's faster to go on a motorcycle than it is in a vehicle and stuff. So it just was amazing. You know, I thank you. I thank our church for praying for us and just giving us the opportunity. I know Mackenzie's already said we're going to Mexico next. So, all right, Anna. This is my talkative child here.
Okay, so I'm not really one to speak in front of a crowd, but I guess I have to do it this time. So I will. So one thing that like definitely impacted me was like the church, and like, I'm just gonna stand here with you. Oh, okay. Was the church, and like how it like you could feel the Spirit, like the Holy Spirit, in all the whole group, and like you could just feel it in that, like, in yourself too. And so that was like very impactful. And just like going to the homes, like on the first day, I was definitely not very talkative. And on the last day, I actually led a conversation. Like I started it, and it it made me like very proud of myself.
And she prayed.
And I guess that's more what I'm going to talk about, is how proud I was of all the youth that went. It was amazing to see them progress as the week went on, because when we started, like we said, nobody knew how to talk to anybody. And as the week progressed and everybody got a little more comfortable, you saw all of the kids start asking more questions and doing some praying out loud for people and things that we were not used to seeing. So we were so proud of all of the kids. I don't know that I have any specific people stories. You held a baby. Huh? I held a baby, yeah. Yeah, he didn't put my picture holding a baby up, but that's okay. We all looked for a baby to hold, though. And I tried to bring a little boy home, but he wouldn't come with me. So it was really an amazing week.
I would have to say one thing that touched me was no matter how little they had, the joy that they had with welcoming you into their homes and all this. And one thing was the kids. They didn't have like the toys and all that ours have now. They played with pop beach balls, and they had more joy out of those pop beach balls and balloons and Uno cards than they did anything else that they had. That was one thing that always touched me.
They pretty much summed it all up, but I'll just tell my favorite part, which was playing soccer with them. It showed how alike they were to me, and they're a lot better than me. Figured that out quick. And seeing someone get saved, that was definitely my favorite part.
So going into this trip, I was like not really that nervous. But the Friday night before we left, it hit me that we were going outside of the country, which I had never done before. So that was really nerve-wracking. Then when we got there, when we landed, Miss Jody said there was a bunch of people. And so we got on the bus, made our way to the mall, and then ate lunch. And so we got to the camp. I was really nervous for the week to come ahead because I'm not really used to talking to different people and getting outside my comfort zone. So the first day comes, and I was really quiet, didn't really talk much. But there was this one lady, the last house we went to, she was like, this is weird because we don't really talk the same language. And I said, we might not talk the same language, but we have one thing in common, and that's we both believe in Christ. And so she was like, that's true. So then later on in the week, we saw Virginia. She was like obviously a little worried, and so my dad talked with her, and she was less worried, and we went back to see her. I could definitely tell a difference between before we saw her. And then we left the camp. At that point, I was just ready to go home. We get to Antigua, and I don't know, but the roads were really bumpy, and it was really dangerous. I got motion sickness a little bit. We almost went down a hill. And so the night before we left, I was really happy that I was able to come and make these connections with these people.
I really don't like talking in front of adults. I do much better with teenagers, but when we got to Pacaya on Monday, they told us that y'all are going to split into two groups. Some of you are just going to go to homes here around Pacaya. Some of you are going to go up the hill to more towards, was it towards Las Positas or just up the hill? And so the day before, on Sunday after church, Julia tells us, we're going to go visit the lava fields. She said it's just a short, like 25-minute walk. Well, 3 hours later, we still did not see lava fields, and we had walked 3 miles. So when they told us on Monday some would have to go up the hill, Janet, Margaret, and I were like, we're out. So that left Alan and Jody to go up the hill. So they took Tanner, Hayden, and Anna with them the first day. And then we took Aubrey, Garrett, and Mackenzie with us. So Ava was our leader for the day, and she kind of carried us. And I had to thank her on the way back. I said, thank you so much for carrying us today, because like we just really didn't know what to do. We didn't know what to say. And so she said, that's fine. She said, but tomorrow y'all are on your own. And so the next day we decided to swap the kids, and we had Tanner, Hayden, and Anna. So the talkers were in the other group. Like Jody and Alan took Mackenzie away from us. So Janet and I sat down that night before, and we came up with this whole list of questions that we could ask. And by the end of the day, we carried the conversation. Our little leader really didn't have to say much. He just kind of interjected when there was a few quiet moments. So we really had to get outside of our comfort zone, and that was really good for us. It was hard, but it was good for us. Let's see what else. I also wanted to say just how proud I was of all of the youth. I mean, each one of them stepped up and got outside their comfort zone in some way. Poor little Anna, she probably will kill me for saying this, but we could not flush our toilet paper. We had to throw all toilet paper in the garbage, and every morning that garbage had to be emptied. And Anna was the first one every morning to volunteer to do that for us. So God bless her.
She didn't want to clean the kitchen.
That's okay, because I did not want to take out the poopy paper. So God bless her. Tanner, he played soccer like nobody's business with those kids. Hayden, he kind of played with the ones that really didn't want to do all the little arts and crafts kind of things. Mackenzie and Aubrey and Garrett, they led the music or danced. They really interacted with all the kids. So each one of them really stepped up, and I was real proud of them. All right, Hayden.
So I'm not really the talkative person either, but I really stepped out of my comfort zone when we went. I made some friends, and even though I couldn't understand them, I still tried, and I'll never forget what happened that week, and it did touch me, and I'm excited to go back.
So as you can see, God did some good things. And again, we thank you for supporting us, for helping us over the last year, getting prepared for this trip. And I'll just close with this. Again, the first day we got there, we went to the food court to eat. And for whatever reason, April wanted to go to Panda Express. And okay, whatever. We're in Guatemala. Okay, if you want Chinese, Japanese, that's fine, whatever. And so we eat, and I'll preface what I'm about to say with this. If you know anything about the trips that our youth ministry has taken over the last 3 years, you know we have had the worst luck with transportation and food and just different things. And so we're all to the point where we're just like, hey, what's going to happen this time? And so we were just kind of to that point, what's going to happen this time? And so we get to Panda Express, we eat, I open up my fortune cookie, and no lie, my fortune cookie says, face all setbacks with a smile this week. And I immediately say, Lord, whatever setbacks you've got planned for us, I give them to you, and you're going to take care of them, and it's going to be okay. And this was one of the smoothest trips that we've ever had because I know God was in it. God was in it from the start to the end, and so just all glory to Him because, like I said, that we've had some pretty rough trips lately, and when I saw that, my heart kind of sunk for just a half a second, and then I just gave it to Him. I said, Lord, whatever it is, we're going to give you glory and honor for this. So, again, thank you again. I'm just going to say a quick prayer and dismiss it. I guess I'll ask this. Any questions that y'all have for us about our experience?
You had to walk everywhere.
We had to walk everywhere. The bus dropped us off when we got there Sunday, and we did not have any other form of transportation until it came to pick us up the following Friday.
And we had to roll our luggage.
Yeah, had to roll our luggage from the bus stop to the camp house and back.
Aubrey and I packed real heavy. I learned a lesson.
I tried to loan you my dolly.
Next time.
I have something else to say that I forgot to say in my little speech earlier. But when I was there, it was really a humbling experience, and I got to talk to some of the interns about like possibly like being there in their position at some point, and it was really eye-opening. And they just said to pray about it, and I am praying about it because it did like really open up like me. I see it right there. Oh. Well, it's been, like, I really want to go to Mexico now and see everything. And I was talking to one of the interns, her name was Becca, and I was asking them, like, how has Guatemala, like, changed their perspective of when they come home? And she was like, well, one of the main things is when I say, I'll pray for you, you know, we just normally say, oh, I'll pray for you. Then we go home and we just forget about it. We never pray. And so it's really, and she said, instead, like, at Guatemala, you go into the house, and when you say you're going to pray, you pray then and there. And I think that's a good mindset to have when you just need to, when you say you're going to pray right then and there, because you never know what's going to happen, and something might happen, and you don't get the chance to pray ever again, you know. So I just wanted to leave y'all with that, because that was something that really spoke to me throughout the trip, and I forgot to say it earlier.
Any other questions? All right, well, let me close this with a word of prayer, and we will be dismissed for the night. Dear God, we thank you for the trip that we were able to take. God, we thank you for working in each one of our lives as you work through us to minister to those that we saw each and every day. God, we thank you for this church that supported us from the beginning all the way through to right now. And God, we thank you for their love and their support of each one of us over the last year. God, I pray that the work that we did, no matter how small, impacts your kingdom. God, I pray that you would just be with us as we go throughout the rest of this week. Help us to be mindful of those that are around us. Help us to always keep you first and keep an opportunity, look for opportunities and be ready to serve you however we can. It's your name I pray. Amen.
Your type of moving right.
No, you.
I know. I saw your eyes very wandering. And I saw Coco.
I'm so glad to see you two up here on the stage. It makes me so proud. Keep doing it. And y'all do great.
Thank you.
You know what's up in that brain? You I think I've talked more since I've been married to Nancy. Y'all did great.
Dad!
I didn't do that.
You did good. Listen, you did good. No, listen. Anna almost cried because I saw her eyes get very watery and her mouth started doing this.
When?
That's what I was.
Well, see, I didn't get to see you talk. I was outside getting kids from the children's building. Lauren recorded it, I think.
And then I didn't mean to call Aunt Lauren out.
You did. She was just scratching her head.